lot of you in the past, but just in order to keep you all fully updated on what's happening with this investigation. Today I briefed the President on the concerns that I had about incidental collection and how it relates to President-elect Trump and his transition team, and the concerns that I have. As I said earlier, there'll be more information, hopefully by Friday. The NSA is cooperating very, very well. And lastly, I'll say that the reports that I was able to see did not have anything to do with Russia or the Russia investigation or any tie to the Trump team. And with that, I'll love to take a couple questions if you have them.
Chairman, quick question. Why is it appropriate for you to brief President Trump, given it's his own administration or campaign associates that are a part of this investigation?
Because what I saw has nothing to do with Russia and nothing to do with the Russia investigation. Has everything to do with possible surveillance activities, and the President needs to know that these intelligence reports are out there, and I have a duty to tell him that.
Does it appear that you'd be drawing conclusions before it was completed, Chairman?
I'm not drawing any conclusion. I'm just telling the President what exists in intelligence reports.
Were the subjects of the surveillance under FISA order?
It appears so. I don't want to get too much into those details, but these were intelligence reports, and it brings up a lot of concerns about, whether things were properly minimized or not. But I will tell you, I've only seen some. It's in the dozens, but we don't have the full scope of all the intelligence reports that were produced, or who ordered the unmasking of additional names. And we're hoping to get that. Yes.
Are you saying the surveillance, if it wasn't related to Russia or anything like that, are you saying that it was political surveillance of political opponents, as the President has suggested in his tweets?
What I've read bothers me, and I think it should bother the President himself and his team, because I think some of it seems to be inappropriate. But like I said, until we get all the information to the committee, it's hard to really say until we see it in its totality.
Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir.
We knew that there was some incidental collection because Lieutenant General Michael Flynn was caught up talking with Sergei Kislyak.
Right.
Does this go beyond that, and does this qualify as the sort of wiretapping that the President was tweeting about?
Well, it definitely goes beyond what happened to General Flynn. Now, of course, we don't actually know yet officially what happened to General Flynn. We just know that his name leaked out, but we don't know how it was picked up yet. That's one of the things that we asked for in our March 15th letter, was for the NSA, CIA, and FBI to get us all the unmasking that was done. And I'll tell you, NSA is being cooperative, but so far the FBI has not told us whether or not they're going to respond to our March 15th letter, which is now a couple weeks old.
And again, does this seem to describe what the President was talking about? What he was talking about, quote, wiretapping, which they then said was broader surveillance?
What I've read seems to me to be some level of surveillance activity, perhaps legal, but I don't know that it's right, and I don't know that the American people would be comfortable with what I've read. But let us get all the reports.
The President was correct in what he tweeted?
It is possible.
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
the President said that President Obama tapped his phones.
No, that did not happen. I've said this for many weeks, including the day after, a couple days after, in front of the press. That never happened. So that never happened.
Did President Obama order any kind of surveillance of the President?
Well, we don't know who sent the taskings. If the taskings were changed into what went into these intelligence reports, but we're going to try to find that out.
Congressman, did you have permission to put out this information today? Did the Justice Department give you the okay to talk about this?
Justice Department doesn't have anything to do with this.
So
this is information. This is information that was brought to me that I thought the President needed to know about incidental collection, where the President himself and others in the Trump transition team were clearly put into intelligence reports that ended up at this White House and across a whole bunch of other agencies. And I thought it was important for the president to know this. That's why I briefed the speaker this morning, and I came down here as soon as I could.
Thank you, Congressman.
Hold on.
How many people are you seeing in these reports, and do any of them currently work at the White House for Mr. Trump?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into the specifics of it because look, I was only able to see a few dozen, of which I think a lot of it does have foreign intelligence value. So let's not.
Reports or people?
There were dozens of reports that I was able to see that we're hoping that the NSA, FBI, CIA will provide, because I know they exist, so I want them to provide them to our committee so that all the members have an opportunity to see what I've been shown. Yes, sir, right here. I think the president is concerned, and he should be. I think he'd like to see these reports. And hopefully when we get them, hopefully they'll get them to the White House also.
Mr. Chairman, do you believe the president appropriately used the word wiretapping? Was it used correctly in his tweets based on the information that you have seen?
Well, look, I think the wiretapping, if you use it generally, like the president has said, he clearly, used it differently than what I think a lot of people took it, which was, did Obama actually wiretap Trump Tower, which we know didn't happen. I think the president's been pretty clear on that.
But the physical act of wiretapping, do you see anything in the information?
No, and I said that on day 2 after.
Mr. Chairman, you rule out the possibility that senior Obama administration officials were involved in this?
No, we cannot.
Mr. Chairman, given that you have said there was a FISA warrant which would have been approved by a judge, are you concerned that essentially you're saying members of the Trump team were in contact with people who were the target of a counterintelligence or some form of investigation?
No, I think you'd be no. This would be. I think you're reading too much into that. What this is normal intelligence reporting. It's just normal intelligence reporting. The question is should he himself or others, should they have been put into these reports? And I don't know the answer to that yet, but we're going to try to get to the bottom of it.
So your issue is the unmasking, not that there was this monitoring.
Well, there's 2 issues here. Okay, there's additional unmasking of names, which I think is totally inappropriate. But we have to get to I don't know how many names were unmasked, but I know there were additional unmaskings that occurred. And then you have the issue of the names that were put into these intelligence reports that we have to get to the bottom of, and this is why we sent the letter 2 weeks ago. We need a response to it.
Mr. Chairman, can I just clarify and ask 3 things? Are you suggesting that Mr. Trump's communications are in those reports first? Second, are you saying that you're concerned enough that this would trigger a different, separate investigation? And third, why did you not discuss this with the ranking member before you came to the White House?
So yes, no, and I'm going to be meeting with Mr. Schiff at some point to talk about where we go with this investigation. But I had to brief the speaker first, and then I had to talk to the CIA director, the NSA director, and I'm waiting to talk to the FBI director because he still has not told us how he's going to get us this information. Then I went and talked to all of you, not you yourselves, but those of you who exist over at the Congress, and then I voted, and then I said I was coming here to brief the president, and I'll be glad to talk to others later.
Mr. Trump's communications, you believe, are in the reports that were acquired by FISA. You're concerned enough about it that you're not calling for additional investigation.
Well, we are investigating it.
You just said no. You said no.
No, incidental, well, because we're already investigating. We're not opening a new investigation. It's part of it.
It has nothing to do with Russia, and you're folding this into your investigation.
Well, because it has to deal with the unmasking of names and whether or not all this was gathered properly.
So, an ongoing investigation, you thought it was appropriate to come and talk to the president about it?
Just remember, we have had an ongoing investigation into Russia for a very, very long time and all of their activities. So, we have the scoping document of the Russian investigation, and we will continue to investigate anything and everything else that might be caught up in this, because clearly we are concerned about what ends up in intelligence products, why, and whether or not there was unmasking.